From week to week, every time I shop for food, the prices seem to go up.
Imagine then what it's like feeding a family of 4 and still trying to serve something with nutritional value.
This is the challenge that we set for Mela's resident foodie. And to keep it real, we gave her a budget of 100 Rand.
As if that wasn't enough, Yudhika decided to go one better and mapped out a menu for a 3-course meal. So let's see how she does it.
I'm a firm believer of home-cooked meals that are healthy, delicious, bursting with flavor and kind to the pocket. I'm going to be making a dessert today and I've costed out the ingredients. It comes up to about 25 Rand. With that, I'm going to be making some mini chocolate sponge cakes. I'm going to garnish these with glazed cherries. Now, I always have glazed cherries in my refrigerator and I look for opportunities to use them up. Some chocolate. Now, to prepare the chocolate cakes, all you need to do is dissolve some cocoa in boiling water, leave it aside to cool, then whip up 2 eggs with 6 tablespoons of sugar until it's super light and fluffy. Then fold in some flour with some baking powder, a pinch of salt. Lastly, fold in the cocoa mixture and some sunflower oil. Now, that's your cake recipe, and you can find this on the Mela Facebook page after today's show. What I'm keen to cook up on the show today are the starters and the main course. I also want to inspire you to prepare amazing food at home that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. These are really well priced. Now, the average takeaway meal of burgers and pizzas can cost between 50 and 75 Rand per head. Let's see what we can cook up for a family of 4. 1 red onion, 4 tomatoes, 1 lemon. I'm still on budget. I've picked up my ingredients. We've come in at about 75 Rand 45. I'm going to use some fresh spring onion and coriander out of my garden. Let's get back into the kitchen and get cooking. Welcome to the 100 Rand challenge. The producers challenged me to prepare a 3-course meal for 4 people in under 100 Rand. So on the menu we have marinated brinjals, a spicy fish masala, and to finish off, a mini chocolate cake. So firstly, let's get the mini chocolate cakes into the oven, 180 degrees for about 12 minutes. And now moving on to the marinated brinjals. So I've preheated a griddle pan. I've picked up a punnet of brinjals for about 12 Rand, which makes this a really inexpensive starter. You can also serve this with fresh crusty bread. Also, when you're using brinjals, just remember, always sweat them. Put on a layer of fine salt, leave it in a colander to drain off, and then squeeze out the excess moisture with absorbent paper towel. And that makes sure that the brinjals don't absorb too much oil rather than them just being bitter. Now, about paintbrushes, I've picked up this one from the hardware store. Don't go for anything with plastic bristles because that's just going to melt on the pan. So grill these for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the thickness, until they get these beautiful lines on them. Just dabbing these with a little more oil. Let's get these brinjals grilling. The ingredients for the spicy fish masala, we've got some timol seeds right here. It's also known as ajwain, available at Indian supermarkets. Ginger, we've got some garlic, chopped coriander, which we're going to use right at the end. We've also got some coriander with a bit of the root, the stalks and the leaves. I'm going to use that in the ginger and garlic paste. Fresh tomatoes, we've got some masala, sunflower oil and salt. And first ingredient going in, a slick of oil. And while that's warming up, into a mortar, we've got some coins of ginger, just very thinly sliced. You could call this the anger management part of your cooking. Next, crushed garlic. I like lots of ginger and garlic in my food. I've just sliced off the stalks, and you can see there's a tiny bit of the coriander root. And now, just pound that. Also, a pinch of salt going in just helps the garlic break down. And a fresh paste beats any store-bought paste as well. Just a rough paste will do nicely. Use a wooden spoon, scrape that off. drop that into the side of the pan. Now you can see that's not a smooth paste. It's just a lovely rough paste, but incredibly fragrant, very aromatic. Now let's add some timol seeds as well, or ajwain. I'd say about 5 mils. Almost has a thyme-like flavor. And in English, it's called lovage seeds. Just cooking up that garlic slightly. And if this burns, please throw it out and start again. Garlic turns really bitter once it's burnt, so it will impart that flavor to the rest of your dish. So stop, throw it out and start again. Next ingredient going in, the masala. Now this is a mix of cumin, coriander, red chili powder, turmeric and a touch of garam masala as well. Always going in again on the side of the pan, and I don't want the spices to hit the oil and burn. And then the tomatoes. Next ingredient, salt. I'd say about a teaspoon and a bit. We've already put a few grains of salt into that ginger, garlic and coriander paste. Now we've got about 600 grams of fish, which is suitable for 4 people. And let it simmer until the tomato softens and thickens into a paste. I'm sure the chocolate cakes are ready, so let's have a peek. Aha! And that's what the mini chocolate cakes look like. They're very, very spongy, quite light and soft as well. Now, let's check on those brinjals. Oh, these are really hot, but that's exactly what we want. Beautiful dark lines on those brinjals. I'm going to season these quite lightly because I've already sweated them off with some salt, and we don't want to get them too salty. And the marinade is just lemon juice, a bit of olive oil, and fresh herbs. Let's squeeze over some lemon. Next, some spring onion going on top. Red onion. Now, put these ingredients on while the brinjals are still quite warm because they almost just soften slightly. And just another swig of olive oil going in as well. Fresh mint. Gonna just snip this with a pair of scissors. And also coriander. I love adding fresh herbs to my dishes. And that's the marinated brinjal. Serve it with some crusty bread and you're good to go. The tomatoes have thickened. They almost look like tomato paste right now. And then pop in some water. Stir that through. Bring it up to the boil. And you can see you almost get an instant sauce with that. We're almost poaching the fish fillets in this lovely tomato sauce. Simmer it on low and let's get the lid on. The fish is almost done, and just giving that a stir around. Break off a piece, just check if that's cooked through, and it is translucent. Now let's plate this up. And the sauce is absolutely bright red and it looks amazing. Let's garnish this with a bit of fresh coriander. A little bit of green coriander just makes it look so appealing. So who says you couldn't do a meal for 4 in under 100 rand? We have marinated brinjals, we have a spicy fish masala, and then these beautiful little chocolate cakes. It really is the cherry on top.